Hey guys, it's me, Ria. Just wait and see if anyone wants to pop on. All right, so I tried to come on earlier today with a message about allowance, and I got all sorts of interruptions. I kept getting disconnected. Mythos' teacher kept calling me, and so I had to go get him. So we did some work. So I thought that I would hop on and again try to deliver the message about allowance. All right. Hey, Brenda, thank you for joining. I tried starting this live earlier this morning and it didn't go so well. My live got cut off. Hey, good morning. So I'm trying to redo this, deliver a quick message, and do a collective read and perhaps some personal reads if people want to. I'll give it a few minutes before I begin to see if anyone wants to hop on. If you guys don't mind sharing out, I would appreciate it. And then after I deliver the collective message, I can pull a couple personals for sharing out, quickies. I will stick my PayPal up here if anybody does decide they want a more descriptive the personal read regarding what is it that we need to allow in our life that we may be resisting and to enter that flow. A second here. I can't write and talk at the same time. All right, let me just stick that on there. Hey guys, thank you for joining. I attempted this once earlier, and it wasn't even posting on my Temple of the Sun page, so obviously there was a little bit more energy for me to process or to allow in order to present this better, more fully. More. All right, guys, a second here. Start comment. So what started it and what catalyzed this message? Good morning, Teresa. Oh, thank you for sharing. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. Louise, good to see you. Pam, hey, nice to see you again. Thank you, guys that joined John and I on our live yesterday. It was fun. It was long, but it was fun, informative, empowering, great messages coming through for all of you. I really appreciate it. So let me just mute this music. Hold on here. All right. So what kind of catalyzed and triggered this whole message and subject matter of allowances this morning? I really wanted to, do my normal routine, go for my little run or the gym or whatever I want to do. But something kept kind of pushing me to do a message. And I usually do always follow those pushes. But how it pertains to allowing is a lot of times we resist our own inner guidance due to our mind wanting to control the situation or to do something different that it's programmed or what is instilled in our mind or what even we think is better for us. So it's just a message on really zooming into our present moment of now and listening. And I know it's all common sense. This isn't information we don't already know, but Spirit continuously brings back these little back to basics messages. Because a lot of times we don't even realize what we're doing because we're kind of in an automatic mode or habitual or have something deeply ingrained in us that we think is the right thing to do or what I should be doing. And we even do it thinking that's the best for our spiritual or our mind, body, spirit connection. So this morning I was really guided to, okay, stop, relax, do your message. But even in my giving into my allowance, I was interrupted nonstop. I had to start the live over. I had to go get Mythos. And I'm like, geez, crow, why is this happening to me? I'm allowing, but Spirit also wanted to mention, even in our allowance, we got to allow to be in that flow. So when we allow our mind to get in the control or wanting to navigate or control or the situation, what it is how it affects our flow is it's like putting a screen. We got this river flowing. The river's the flow. The river is the energy that we want to merge and be one with. But when we allow ourselves to stop that flow, stop that allowance of whatever it is we're being guided to, it's like putting a screen in the river. So sometimes even in allowing, because we have an expectation, we might want to continue that flow the way we think it should go. Like this morning, for example, I thought I had to keep restarting it, and I was trying to kind of pushing through the energy, and there are times we push through the energy, but sometimes part of the allowance is also knowing when to let back. Otherwise, it's like putting a screen in the river, and it's not as free flowing. Even though we're following our guidance, we're still maybe in the mind trying to control or have an expectation of that allowance. And Spirit is saying it's like putting a screen in the river being us in the flow, the unity, the oneness, entering that universal flow of life, light, love. We kind of dilute it a little bit. It doesn't become so strong. So the message is today, our personal message and collective is, what do we need to know? Where may we be resisting a little bit our flow, our allowance? And I even ended up doing a card read, but it didn't record. It said I was live, but I wasn't. So I'm going to reshare that, or share again, or share share the card oracle readings for it, because it pertained to it perfectly. So let me just look at comments. Hey, Sandra, thank you for joining. You guys watching, if you don't mind sharing, and if you do share and want a personal freebie, let me know. If you want a more personal, delving a little deeper into your situation, let me know. And it's just open donations to Ria Barna if you want. All right. But before we go any further, I do want to just take that breath in to bring, to ground us to our center, to ground us to our heart space. We are always this light. We're always this spiritual energy embodied in the physical, to bring forth that self-realization, expression of all that we are in the physical. We came for that. But when we bring awareness to it, it's like increasing that flow. It's like merging with that highest frequency that you already are. It's allowing it. It's allowing it. So it helps us to drop from the mind, the chatter, and just drop into our feeling space, the heart. The heart is the center. It's the middle. It is that, to me, I consider it that portal to that dimension of all dimensions, all the multiverses, parallel selves, all of us and all of eternity existing now. Whether we bring focus to it or not, we are still that. But when we bring focus to that, we accentuate that. We allow that flow. We remove the screen and allow the flow to come forth. And tuning in and tapping into our highest frequency allows us to tune in and tap into our highest information that we're able to receive and give. So we'll just take a nice deep breath in, guys. I call it the cross breath. And it is symbolic of us becoming more light beings. It's symbolic of us as we work through our darkness, our fears, as we allow and go with that flow and work through our resistance and accept ourselves for who we are and where we are in the moment. We bring light to the darkness. Like John and I's message yesterday was the light born from darkness, and all darkness actually supports our light. It allows us to shine bright. It allows us to face ourselves and to face any areas that are dark or things that we're not aware of that could be running in our subconscious that are preventing us from actually living that life that we want. So the dark, we don't need to change the dark. The dark is actually here to support us in our physical expression of our light, of who we, give us the physical experience of the totality of who we are in the here and now. So we'll just take a nice deep breath in, guys. Breathe into your center. Feel into your vibration, your energy. See it getting brighter and brighter and brighter, like a light bulb just getting brighter and brighter, and that it becomes so intense and so bright and so powerful that exhale. it shatters the glass. There's no more resistance or shield. There's nothing preventing us from being the fullness of who we are. And Spirit is showing me, and I just feel it, like all of you guys that are present, just shoom, you just shifted to a greater frequency. And it is our frequency and our vibration that is reflected in our reality. We don't need to change anything from the outside. The change comes from just allowing more and more of ourself to come through, more of our own light, our own individuality, that which makes us us. Oh, that's really beautiful, guys. All right, so for the collective read, yes, I've been guided to forgive and surrender and allow. Yes, yes, that is like, boy, the human journey in a nutshell. Forgiving ourselves for all that we think we should be, that we're not. and you know, there's nothing to forgive. Such a good point, Teresa. Allowing forgiveness, because there really is nothing to forgive. It is forgiving ourselves in a way by accepting that this is who we are and we've had these expectations and we uphold ourselves to certain criteria based on that which we were taught and programmed or believed to be and taught to be who we are. And when we didn't measure up to that, it does bring great sadness. It brings judgment and criticism. And yeah, I can just feel that in the emotional field. And we're at a huge time where we're just allowing all of that and allowing it to be brought into our awareness, to let it go, to have compassion for it. We chose to be human. We chose and we signed up for this. So it is all part of the game. Spirit is saying, don't be hard on yourself. There's nothing to forgive because you came here for that very experience. And that experience allows you to show that you are unconditional love, that you can go through all of that and still just being pure love, Spirit is saying. Oh my God, that's so beautiful, Teresa. I feel that really, really deep, Teresa. Thank you for that comment. When we surrender to ourselves, we allow. That is the key. Oh my God, Teresa, you sure you want to come on live? If anyone here ever wants to come on, um, let me know in the comments and or put the link out for you. Because surrendering and allowance and self-acceptance, it's all the same kit and caboodle, just a little bit different perspectives. So as we surrender and we allow, then we open up. We open up to the light in ourselves, and we open up to just having compassion for ourselves and knowing that that's part of who you are and it's to be embraced. All of that we are and experience as a human is to be embraced. In the past, sometimes religions or thought forms and concepts have taught us that to deny the physical part of ourselves and to really, really reach that spiritual and that God, and to give our power over even to another being called God. And what the physical experience and why we are here, I believe, from my point of view, is to experience the fullness in that God self that we are through the physical. And we can't really understand the light unless we do have the darkness. We really can't understand compassion and forgiveness and healing and all of that unless we've experienced. So the physical part of us gives us the opportunity to experience our God self in motion. How awesome! So beautiful when you really look at it. Like, even when we are blinded and not awakened, what a beautiful experience that being has chosen to have. Wow. So deep. And to think that they were separate from God, but only to realize they are that which they seek. That's all of us. Wow. Hey, Lauren. Thanks for joining again. Lauren and I will be going live. I can't remember what you said. Monday, I believe. I think. Probably around 11 a.m. Eastern time, but we'll confirm that. Oh my God, Teresa, this is so good. I'm outside right now bringing in and embodying this powerful sunlight. Oh, beautiful. All right, so the collective oracle regarding this allowance, because a lot of times we have these beautiful concepts and we think of it as a whole, but how do we really apply allowance? How do we apply it in our everyday moment? Because it's something we all strive to do: allow, surrender, forgive, be, and all of that. And really, it does come down to trust, and it does come down to a sense of vulnerability, Spirit says. And again, that's another experience you chose to have in order to embody the very thing that you already are, to express it, is allowing. So it can be something as simple and mundane as something you choose to eat, Spirit is saying. You've been taught maybe, yes, I need to eat lots of whole foods, salads, grains, or you might be taught that, oh, not too many carbohydrates, or being intolerant of certain foods, and there certain things being labeled as good or bad. But they said there are times in your physicality, that you will want to experience those things that you think that you are the very things you are resisting. So they're just saying to allow that flow, not to label right or wrong, but to allow more flow is to be more in your body and to honor that and to allow that. So a lot of times, me personally, Maria, think I need to get my running, think I need to exercise, think that I'm doing my body, mind, and spirit a good thing by doing that. Yes, I am, but there are moments when I am not supposed to. And what that does is it causes a struggle between the mind and the heart. And this can be something as mundane as something to eat or do or be or a job. And what happens sometimes is I will get confused and then I become scattered. And whenever you're feeling, Spirit wants to bring up to the point, whenever you're feeling confusion or scattered or don't know which way to turn, it is because that is actually a resistance within you trying to overcome what you're being guided to do. So it could be a decision you need to make, mundane, little, big, small, in the moment, and I'm bringing it back down to the moment, a path you can take, grocery shopping or meditating or going to the gym or calling a friend, and all of a sudden you're overwhelmed with all these different decisions. But the overwhelmment comes from being in your mind, and what's happening is you are being flooded with the to-dos, the obligations, the things that you are being taught were right or wrong or better for you, and you get a little confused and it gets overwhelming. So the spirit is saying that is your cue right there to know that you are perhaps not all cases are the same. Perhaps you are resisting what you're really being called to, but there's a lot of pre-programming and it's kind of drowning out and diluting that which wants to come through. So when you just sit in your center and release yourself from your mind and breathe in your heart and said, if nothing really ever mattered or had no consequence, this is a good way to look at it. Spirit is saying, if nothing had no consequence, and it's a paradox because everything does have a reflection, but in your mind, from your mind's point of view, if nothing had no consequence, what would you be doing right now in this moment that you could do? Would you deliver your message? Would you go for your run? Would you go shopping? Would you call your friend? Would you take a nap? Would you watch a TV show? If it had no consequence and you had no belief behind the consequence of it, what would you be doing? And that will help to settle and bring you to a place of no judgment, a place of clarity where, wow, you mean I could do this and it would be okay? Or I could say that and it would be okay? So just kind of discerning from that perception. And then what you find out is the very thing you were resisting or trying to take control of, once you're allowed to do it, you actually might not want to do it. So you could say if it's something that would not be considered healthy for your physical body, if you are given the opportunity to do it and there's no resistance, you might actually realize, oh, I don't really need that anyways. I don't really want that. So sometimes it's the forbidden and the resistance that actually create the wanting. Follow your joy, follow your heart, follow that peace. And it's very challenging as a human to follow the peace, because the peace is hard to come and connect to when you are flooded with the have-tos, the pre-programming, the what is right, wrong, bad, labeling, judgment, criticism. And it does give us a really good human, physical, dense experience to work through to bring forth our light. All right. It sounds cool until you do it. You know, baby steps, step by step by step by step. I didn't get my exercise in this morning, and there's that pull like, and I had to get Mythos, so now he's home, and now I can't, and it's like, but the outside circumstances, how they're always serving us, they're actually setting us up for what we really do need to do to be in the flow. So I, from a human physical level, I've always said, oh, I give up my own lack of understanding and perception to my higher self, let my higher self take over, because it's like giving my power over, it's giving my power over to a greater part of me and to guide me. And our outside physical conditions is always guiding us as well, so we can never really go wrong. So even if I'm tempted to do something, but I really give it over to my higher self or my God self, I will be put and be exactly in that greatest flow. So I had to get Mythos. I got interrupted, and that said, okay, instead of getting mad and swearing at technology or saying, oh, geez, I'm crow, whatever, now I got to go do this or that, I allowed it. I allowed that outside situation to also serve me in being my guide and relaxing and saying, okay, obviously my message isn't totally sunk up. I'm going to do it more. Sorry, my phone went off. I thought I silenced it. Um, so just allowing whatever is before you, also not just allowing your inner decisions and your energy to guide you, but also knowing what is happening before you in this moment of now is also serving you and acting as a guide. But our mind will want to step in, get a little. Sorry, that's what it's about today. And the two cards that came up for the collective was exactly that. I did a life purpose card. And what do we know? What do we need to know as a collective? What we might not be, what we may be denying or resisting that wants to be allowed. When we allow, we enter the flow. When we enter the flow, then we connect to that highest energy working for us and supporting us. And then we create that reality. So it's important to know, what is it that I need to allow? What is it that I am resisting consciously or unconsciously? Because that energy is that which creates and shifts us to the reality we want. So through the allowing, even though the human mind doesn't understand it, or want something different, if we go and enter the flow, surrender, and accept where we are and what we're going through in the moment, we literally are shifting to the reality that reflects that connects and resonates to that reality that brings forth a greater abundance in all levels, mind, body, spirit. And what came forth was body work. This went perfectly. This card was like affirming the message of the physical, honoring and allowing and going with the flow with the physical is what's being called right now. We've done a lot of allowing with our spiritual, with where we need to be guided and navigated to gain greater insight, wisdom, and knowledge. But what Spirit is saying, it's bringing it back to basics and saying, honoring and allowing what the physical body needs. It says body work. And through the body, I love the way these have wings and feathers. That is freeing us. We are being freed through our allowing what our physical body needs. We are breaking paradigms, beliefs, instructions, thought forms, judgment about what our body needs and what it needs to be like in order to be all it can be, to be in that flow. It's about releasing, cutting off the attachments to the expectations in our physical, the collective, that which we were taught in the past, cutting those attachments, those cords, those reflections, going within and listening to our body. Okay, does it want a piece of cake? Does it want a salad? Does it want to meditate? Does it want to go dancing? Does it want a glass of wine? Does it want an emotionally fulfilling relationship? Down to the minute, to the bigger things. So really listening to our physical body and honoring it and allowing that. Because I know I personally hold on to a lot of expectations that I was taught
about physical fitness and, you know, the whole exterior. And actually what it does is it changes us. It takes away our life, because then when you think you need to be or act or look or say or whatever it is a certain way, it's weight on us and we can't be free. So here with the feathers, it's representing the freedom to allow your body what it needs when it wants to need it, regardless of what past judgment you had on it. And it says your purpose involves body work. So right now, what is being called of us collectively is to really respect and honor our body. In the past, a lot of spiritual or religious or thought forms have denied the physical. Like even John yesterday in our live was saying during Lent, in Catholic religion, during Lent, we're supposed to deprive ourselves. And not that there isn't a deeper meaning to that, because sometimes we got to deprive ourselves of actually what we need to deprive ourselves are programs. We have to let go of something in order to gain. We need to let go of things to allow the flow sometimes and to create space for new ideas, but not in a way where you're cutting off, say, meat or sugar or whatever it is you gave up for Lent that is feeling like deprivation. It's saying, I'm not saying that none of those things, everything has its place and purpose at a certain frequency. Everything is valid at a frequency. What it's saying for the collective watching this now or later is that we are being called to this body work, the physical part of us, honoring that. Because in honoring that, you're honoring the spirit, because it's the spirit actually living through our physical body. The physical body is a temple. It is truly a temple of all that you are experienced in the now. So honoring that. And how do we honor it? Not necessarily abiding to old, outdated beliefs or even things that work for some people, but not for you in the now. It's honoring your body and its needs. You're an individual and you're a temple. It even talks about body work, maybe new clothes, maybe putting a tattoo on that you really resonate with, decorating yourself, taking joy in your body, taking joy in the outside reflection. In the past, I know growing up as a kid, a Catholic, it would be taught to be vain, to put too much importance on your looks, being vain. And that's a way, Jesus, it's almost like the trickster sneaking in. No, you should be proud of who you are. You should feel good in your own clothes. You should be good and feel good and at peace and harmonious at your own individual expression, whatever it is, whether it's wearing feathers or whether it's wearing whatever type of clothes or attire. If it's based on your authentic self and your true expression, they're saying to enhance that, to bring it forward. And it does take a little bit of discomfort even in that sometimes, because you might need to stand alone. You might get criticized. You might get laughed at, whatever. Like yesterday during my live, I put my hair up like Princess Leia and I was going to take it down. And I said, oh, it's kind of cool, but I'm a little embarrassed to go to the park with Mythos like that. But I did it because I thought it was kind of cool and I actually liked it. But I did have those old thoughts thinking, oh God, what are people going to think of me or blah, blah, blah. But I let it go and I just had fun with it. So simple little things like that even is being called of us. So it says your life purpose involves body work, massage therapy, energy healing, physical therapy, or exercise training, any of the above. And what Spirit is also really reiterating is what is good for you today might not be what's good for you tomorrow. So it's really honing in and allowing all what the physical needs. And I know that I struggle with that. So that is definitely a message for me. And even this angel human, which you guys are all angels in human form, he's turning his back to me. Him turning his back is even saying, I'm going to expose myself. I'm going to expose who I am, my mark, meaning the tattoo, his symbol. And he's not going to turn his back to the criticism that he had for himself. He's going to forgive himself. He's going to honor himself. And he's not going to worry about others' criticism. And we always reflect and project that which we do to ourselves. So when someone judges ourselves, it's really reflecting a judgment deep within ourselves against ourselves. Just like a relationship, whatever relationship that we are going through, it is a reflection of our own relationship with self. So we're really being called to honor ourselves through body work, whether it be to get a new haircut or whether it be to cut all your hair off, whatever it is, because as within, as without, and as without, as within, as you honor your physical body, that's showing you are honoring yourself, which is entering that flow of life, which is going to reflect more honor to you, more abundance to you. Hey, Gina, soul sister, Gina Palazzo. Oh my God, beautiful. If you guys haven't checked out Gina Palazzo's page or beautiful work, oh my God, I'm just amazed every time I see your stuff. And I've been very blessed to receive some artwork. Spirit, angelic artwork by Gina. Okay, Sandra, loving ourselves and showing it. Yeah, not being afraid to own it. You know, if they say, well, if you got it, you might as well own it. Yeah. Where in the past we might have been taught to be, or said that it's not good to be too confident or to be humble or don't be vain. It's not doing it in a fake way or an artificial way. It's doing it in a way that you do own who you are. Oh, if you own it, flaunt it, or whatever that saying is. Not flaunting it as in, oh, I'm better than you. Not that kind of flaunt. The flaunt of owning and having the confidence and to express who you really are. That's freedom. That's freedom. We are in the physical realm. We've done a lot of spiritual freedom work, and the spiritual is going to bleed obviously into the physical. And the part that we still might be denying within ourselves a teeny bit someplace is the physical part. So that was spirit speaking through that. And then the Mother Earth heart card that came through was this one for the same message, the Oracle. This to me is a piece of driftwood. It does represent the black, the dark, and the light, and the yang and the yin, and that balance, and even the phoenix rising. It's a piece of driftwood that looks like it was burnt a little bit, maybe from a burn pit or something, and this was left over. So it also represents the phoenix rising, and a lot of you guys are taking on that archetype, the phoenix rising, like really just burning away all that you are in order to accentuate and bring forth and birth all that you are. And as we do that in our physical body, all of our life will represent that. When you make a change or shift in perception or allow in one area or pathway of your life, it does affect all. Just like that river that might feed off to other branches or streams or stems, like the dam. If it's blocked, it's not going to be able to flow. That energy is not going to flow to all the other pathways. So we're really being called right now to really honor and allow the physical desires, needs, whatever is being called for you in that realm. And it will open you up to all of these other pathways. Could be a business, could be a relationship, could be a gift, could be just anything that you receive as you open and allow your authenticity. And you open up that pathway for all. So if you block, say, you're really blocking some idea that you have. You're not allowing something that spirit is nudging you to. Maybe, I'm going to use a big example. Maybe it's a move, but you're kind of fearful and you're in the dark. You're in the dark, but as you allow that and bring it to the dark, to the light, and you make that move, then it's like all of a sudden the dam opens and all of this energy is flooded to all other areas. You move, you find that right job, or you meet that counterpart that really supports your growth and expansion, and vice versa. You find those complementary energies to match through allowance. This isn't it's a back to basic, and it's something you guys already know, but it's so profound because as you allow, you enter the flow, the river, but then that river splits off down the river further. And that's just symbolic of our future, the things that we can't see. But that also is symbolic of how any allowance in the now is affecting your future. So as we stunt or repress or deny something that wants to come forth, we're cutting off that feed and the flow to those future timelines, or the lines in the river where it splits to a pond or a stream or goes back out to the ocean or whatever. Oh my God, I love the symbolism that spirit always will bring it back to Mother Earth and nature to show the correlation, how the symbiosis of how we all work together. So very beautiful. And what does it say? Lead yourself. Go figure. Trusting your heart, like spirit was guiding before. When we get all confused, it's because we're actually resisting something or holding back something that wants to come forth. So when we drop into our heart, that is trust it as our compass and our point of reference and the wisest of guides. Only your heart knows the surest path to happiness, and the universe yearns to fulfill its call. So that is bringing together our spiritual self with our physical, honoring it, creating that bed, that foundation that opens us up to that physical abundance and experience that the heart yearns and the universe is begging to fulfill for you. And it all has to do with allowing and trusting that we are given every moment what we need as that guidance. So a lot of it, again, it's rebirthing. It's rebirthing a new self, new way of life, new foundation, laying on a new bed. As we resurrect from the old expectations, ways, and beliefs that we were once ingrained in, and all of that served us to get us to where we are. It's sort of like that Andrian cross in one of the oracle decks, and there's steps, and then there's platforms to every step. So as we learn, we've come to a platform, and then we get to experience it, that certain energy in all ways, like say resistance. Okay, we as we experience a certain pathway of resistance, we learn and expand. We gain from that darkness. The resistance, the oppression represents the dark, but what it does is it burns the light within us. It causes us to question and seek and to be free and to free ourselves. No one's freeing us. We free ourselves through our perception, our allowance, our surrender, our forgiveness to self, self-acceptance, accepting all that we are. So beautiful. And that's going to be different for everybody. It's not going to be pigeonholed. It's not going to be a mold for everybody. Like John pulled one of my cards yesterday here, Mother Earth Heart cards, and it said, don't put on your own clothes. Don't try to fit into someone else's, because it's not uncomfortable. And you can even think of that as the darkness that causes discomfort, but it's that very discomfort and darkness that triggers and catalyzes this light, new growth and expansion. Thank you, Teresa. You are a key component in today's message. So thank you. Hey, Bridget. That's exactly what I'm going through. And don't you love it? Does it say Tasha? The way that we have been reflecting immediately what we need into our awareness. Like, oh my God, even yesterday, I received a call from my uncle, and I never hear from him. And I know his wife, my aunt, my Matau, was sick. And I'm like, oh, I hope she's okay. And I was reading a book to Mythos, and her name is Violet. And in one of the pages of Mythos's book, it immediately said Violet good, or something like that, meaning my Aunt Violet was good. And we reflect affirmation, confirmation, guidance of what we need that was already in our energy field. So that's just showing us how in sync, how penetrating, how unfiltered our light is becoming. Less dense. It's not taking a year to get our answer. As we become more light through our allowance and trust, we become lighter vibrating. So the light, it's able to reflect more information back at us, and it's more like it moves. It's not dense like a rock trying to fit in a corner. Put a flashlight on a corner, it's going to go under the molding on to the corner and the whole wall. And that is what we are doing with ourselves energetically. As we become more in line to our higher self, we're reflecting and projecting exactly what we need, that high frequency information that pertains to us in this moment, because we have done so much inner work. Spirit is saying, you have done so much inner work. Don't forget about the physical. And it all goes together no matter what, because we're always taught, oh, that inner work is what creates the health. Yes, but also it's this and that. You still need to honor that physical experience. Maybe it's like, oh man, I've gained a few pounds. I need a new pair of jeans. Okay, this is a good example. I've gained a few pounds. I need a new pair of jeans, or whatever it is you want. You might deny yourself because of an expectation, thinking, no, I refuse to go out and buy a bigger pair of pants because I'm going to lose the weight I need to, because this is unacceptable. And that's something I think a lot of us have either in the past experience. A lot of you guys have overcome that stuff. Me, I still have problems with that, and I'd be the first to admit it. And that's actually denying and resisting what you need to do in the now. Because then what I find out is if I put on a bigger pair of pants when I've gained a few pounds, I actually feel better about myself. And then I will reacclimate to whatever my natural weight should be, because I feel better. I don't have that constant reminder of, oh my God, these pants are getting tighter. I got to lose weight. And then I get mad at myself, and then I got to eat, and then I got to diet, then I got to run, or whatever it is. And this so goes along with this card here. If I allow myself my favorite pair of pants, sweatpants, I always feel good in them. So what the hell? Enjoy it. And then that raises your vibration, and then you are guided to eat, to do, and to receive the information you need to be exactly where you need to be, which you already are perfect. That's the point. If you gained a few pounds and need to go get a pair of sweatpants, you're perfect. But that's still a struggle, whether it be weight or whatever it is in your life it is that you think you need to change. Accepting and going with that flow will bring you to that baseline of who you are, your baseline is unique to you. It's not all about really deep, high spiritual theories or concepts. It's about what pair of pants do I want to put on today? Okay, because that's the everyday life we're living. What shirt am I going to put on today? And what Spirit is saying is honor the physical and do what feels good to the physical. Your physical being isn't going to feel good if you're constantly criticizing it and saying, oh, geez, or whatever it is, or maybe you're a smoker and you started smoking. No, your body's not going to benefit from the criticism and the judgment and all of that. Get into where it feels good, and then the flow can happen from there. Your natural flow. All right. Your spirit is outgrowing flesh. Yes. All right. That's a whole nother thing of all the different symbolisms of our flesh and our body. I'm not going to get into that right now. I'm going to pull some personals for those that have shared out. And if anybody has made a donation, I did put my PayPal up. So I'll do quickies, just a quickie for shared outers, whatever Spirit calls me. And this is a good thing to know, though, even though we are a soul tribe, a soul family, and we all are resonating and reflecting and feeding and receiving information, light. It's all light codes, guys. It's all light. Whenever we have an aha, it's light activated within you as we become more light beings. This is our spiritual body unifying, and then that out breath, bringing that into our physical reality, that highest frequency self on the in breath that you tap into, and then exhaling that highest frequency information on the outside. As we do that, now I forgot where I was going. Oh, it doesn't mean it's going to be the same for the other sister or brother. Like say me, and I'm just looking at Lauren here. Doesn't mean what's being called for her is going to be what's being called for me at that moment. We're here just supporting our own individuality as a reflection of another supporting their own individuality, whatever that is. And it could be a restricted diet at the moment, and that feels good to them due to a health thing. Whatever. So just honoring your flow and what you need in the now to feel good, not to diminish yourself, not to give yourself crap for where you're not, because you're exactly where you need to be to get to where you're going, like that river. Don't. Well, everything is as it should be, right? I don't even want to say don't. do. Is that what Yoda says? All right, do, not maybe, or whatever. Okay, so if you guys have shared out, and Lauren, great. Louise, thank you. And there's the Thaddeator himself, angelic mediumship in counseling. I was just making some reference to our live yesterday. Thaddeus, angelic medium counseling, and I are going to be creating a class, actually, and it goes hand in hand with this message of allowing. So very beautiful. All right, Lauren, I had you in my mind when I was shuffling this deck because I saw your name last, but I know Teresa, you were like one of the first ones on, so I will do you next, but I'm just following. I'm allowing, again, this is a good example of allowing Spirit's program to run, not mine, because what my mind would say is, okay, I know I got to do Teresa because she was on first. I really got to refocus on her. But what I did instead was just sunk into my moment, allowed. I saw Lauren's name, and I'm like, I'm going to pull for Lauren, even though Teresa might have been on first. So I'm just going with that flow, releasing my mind and thinking how it should be done. So what I got for you, Lauren, your message of what you might not be allowing, what needs to be allowed that you might be resisting or repressing, and conscious, unconscious, or even just a little diluting, is want to change. Okay. So what we got here, this is a little bit of green seaweed on the ocean. To me, this one always looks like an alien or even a rabbit, Lauren, I know you're really good visually, so you'll see what you see, and that's right for you. But to me, it's almost like ears, or it could look like an alien face as an eye. This could look like eyes, or actually ears. So however you think it is, but the message, it's about green. Green is that heart opening up and allowing. This little green heart, as abstract as it is, has all of these little open compartments. Totally always will parallel with the collective message, but yours personally is to also opening up the heart compartments of allowing, following your heart more, and it only makes sense because this is the collective message as well. Releasing the have-tos or the way you think things are done. So what you're doing is you're releasing that in order to allow more freedom in your life. And even our resistance where we are not allowing is still a gift, because it is teaching us something, and it is expanding a love within us that came to be experienced. So don't even be hard on yourself, Spirit says, when you can see all the areas and things you've done of not allowing. Those were gifts, and honor them as well as whatever it is you're going to allow, because the allowance wouldn't have happened without the disallowance. I don't know if that's a word, or unallowance, without the repression. So it's always this and that. It's so merged together. But the message is, Lauren, to be brought into your awareness is, want to change your world? I know you've been going through so many huge changes since I've known you the past few years. The changes in the openness and the yearning to be all that you're meant to be the speaker you want to be that space holder. Okay. Want to change your world? Get moving, put on your favorite music, sing out loud, let your imagination run. This is how simple it is. Putting feel-good energy into motion will multiply good energy in your state of being, always reflected in your physical world. So no different. It can be as simple as, don't wear the outfit you think you're supposed to be wearing today. Wear the outfit that feels good. It can be as simple and mundane as that. It doesn't have to be something, okay, I'm going to get my body moving, I'm going to go to a dance party. Yeah, it can be that. Or it can be simply allowing your body to move, put on the clothes you want, put on the music you want, even speak the words that your mind is filtering. Just speak it like you feel it. So to me, you might be denying and not allowing some heart yearnings, desires, due to still some preconditioning, the way things should be, methodical ways. And there's places for all of that. But right now, your soul is calling for allowing the change to just feel good, and allowing that to be the generator for your reflection in your world. So whatever it is, and I know you're good at giving yourself what you want. Like, I know you speak sometimes, you really like pizza, you're going to go out and get pizza. I know you walk a lot, but what else is there in this moment of now that you can open up to receiving and allowing to work through your physical body? Again, we're talking about the physical body today, not spiritually, because we've done the spiritual work. Our physical body is trying to catch up, match our spiritual frequency through us honoring it and giving it what it wants, not denying it anymore, not repressing it. Maybe you just want to put on a different outfit that you normally don't. And I don't know what it is for you, Lauren, but yeah, you want to change, just feel good. Feel good. And that is, like I said, that river that shoots off. The feel good is that base flow, and that will shoot off to all of these other experiences that will connect you in your future. So affecting your future also through your feel good now. And I know that's basic, and I know that's what we talk about a lot, but obviously there's something still there. Let me see what you said, because you probably saw something in this. I am always wearing outfits. Okay, I know. Oh my God, I started watching this show yesterday. It was kind of stupid, but it was called Naked, and it was about a guy going to his wedding. He got caught naked. Oh my God, this goes along with the message today. Naked in an elevator. He doesn't know how he got there. I don't even know how it ended, but having to run. He was in the wrong hotel, had to run through the streets, and he kept like being on a loop where he kept going back to the elevator naked. But even that was symbolic of, I know you're not naked, but getting naked with yourself. Getting naked with yourself, meaning getting real, letting go of all the layers. Maybe, Lauren, you literally just need to sit naked with yourself and say, what do I really want to accentuate my physical body with? How do I want to play with my expression? Hair, makeup, clothes, whatever it is, dressing up in a costume for Halloween. We like to play characters. Maybe your physical body wants to play a different character. A character that is actually living on another timeline and wants to bring forth that energy on this timeline. But anyways, that wasn't so quick. All right. So that's your message, Lauren. Also, I did want to mention galactic. Obviously, I'm very into that whole galactic, multidimensional like support right now, and opening up to our star seed, the star seed that we have within us, coming into the full form alien that it is, because this does look alien to me, that you are being really supported by your galactic self from one of those, even though there is no time, I don't know how they can have an origination. If there was no time, there's still originating planets, but you're originating starseed form, life form that is supporting you here. You can feed into that. What I was thinking, Lauren, too, when we go live on Monday, I think it might be kind of interesting. I know that you do prophetic readings. I think it would be cool to tune in and tap into maybe some of those quote unquote alien, even though we are the alien we are seeking, but those energies within us, that'd be kind of cool. But we'll see what comes through then. All right, Teresa, I see you now. What does Teresa need to? I've been dancing this morning. Oh my God. So that's funny that you've been dancing this morning by a song. I love Godsmack. I love his voice. And I even have the Godsmack tattoo, the sun, but I didn't do this intentionally because I know that's Godsmack's sun emblem. I did not choose that because of Godsmack, but it just happened to be. And I love his voice, and even like the songs like I resonate with so strong, like what was the Army song, a Marine song, I stand alone. And I saw him actually in Burlington, Vermont, where he did a solo concert. So anyways, to show, let me shut this robot vacuum on. All right, shush up. To show even that synchronicity again of us reflecting our light instantaneously, and how spirit will merge with all of us all at once. How I said that I was calling Lauren, but I had you on my mind because you were on the live first and you were actually dancing. So that was also a card of affirmation for you, Teresa. It's just so cool. I love the magic, and magic is just our innate state of being, creating. Unforgettable. Oh, yeah. Oh man, I love Godsmack. He sounds so grounded and anchored and connected. I just so much root chakra in his tone. All right, what do we got for Teresa? Renewal. Oh boy, and dancing will bring forth renewal. Like if I start dancing, and I'll dance with Mythos a lot, or I like to dance and move my body, and movement for me totally relates to creating space for spiritual wisdom and knowledge to flow through. It really activates me. That's why running is really profound, but dancing. But what it does is it brings me back to releasing that child within me. And it's renewal. It's refreshing. It's invigorating. It brings forth life. So your dancing definitely helps to renew your spirit and reconnect you to that child through movement. A child is always moving. I remember being just little, and my mom had 45s. Remember the 45 record players and the LPs back then? And this is probably early 70s, and putting those on her record player, things like, I remember Ricky Nelson, 45, what was it? Something Love. Oh, I can't remember. It was a famous single that he sung, or that old music. And I just remember dancing to him. And oh my God, I used to dance to Wooly Bully. Wooly Bully. And I would just dance around. So when I dance, it like connects me to that time. So what you have, Teresa, what you might be resisting a little bit is actually accepting your feelings of sadness. Feelings, you might be resisting the feelings that are melancholy, sad. Maybe you might be resisting some depression that needs to be expressed because you are beautiful. you're a light being. And what we do sometimes as light beings is we focus so much on the light, so much on the positivity, so much on the healing. But part of the healing is actually allowing and accepting and honoring the brokenness within us, the not regrets, the what's it called, losses, disappointments. And dancing does bring forth a renewal for you. But what it's saying here is renewal, feelings of sadness. So deep right in here, this is almost like the surface Teresa's light, open and dancing, and allows the light to flow through. There's one little portal here that's really Oh, it did reconnect. I'm so sorry, guys. I was moving around. It looks like I have enough bars, but for some reason today, my internet has been cutting in and out, even though the bars say hi. So I'll probably wrap this up shortly. But Teresa, you got renewal. I'm moving around in here, seeing what the heck. I was going to go outside. Hold on here. Sorry. Teresa, if you're still there. So, okay, so sadness and those feelings are a necessary part of releasing, cleansing, and healing. Recognition and acceptance of these emotions, which John would be all for. Recognition and acceptance of these emotions is a letting go of the energies in order to allow a renewal to take form, filling you with inspired light and love. The tears of a good cry act as a salve for the wounds of the heart, prompting healing. So as we allow these deep, deep feelings of sadness and disappointment and unfulfilled expectations, and even though we know as a high spiritually evolved being that expectations we aren't supposed to have, we still need to accept as a human that we do have those expectations. It's part of the human experience, and crying over them is fine. To love it, we came here for that, because we're taught all the time, even the highest spiritual concepts, and we think as a physical being we need to live up to them all the time. And no, doesn't mean because we have a spiritual concept that it is true. There could be spiritual concepts that you're still believing in that seem idealistic, that are no longer, that aren't serving you, is what Spirit is saying as well. And that makes sense, because we're taught not to have attachments. We're taught to be neutral. We're taught to just be the observer. But what Spirit is saying, yes and no, yes and no. Not attaching in a way that the physical is permanent, Spirit is saying, and knowing that everything is transient, life is eternal, and this is just a game we've come to play and experience. But as you're in that game, you've got to honor it. Yeah, humans have expectations, so at least own it. Say, hey, I had this expectation. I'm saddened that it didn't come to fruition, and cry over it. That's okay. So that might be maybe some energy that you deep down are repressing. And I can relate to that, because I can think of things in my life that I really followed through in, really believed in, really thought were going to turn out or the way it should be, but it wasn't the end result that's supposed to be. It was that experience, and the human wanted that, and that's okay. So you can cry over it. You can cry over spilt milk. That's okay. Who said? Because someone says no sense crying over spilt milk. It depends. If you're going to hold on to that energy for the rest of your life, yeah, no, there is no reason. But if you're going to feel that energy momentarily to allow a cleansing and a healing for the renewal, then yeah, damn right you're going to cry. Damn right you're going to be angry, and damn right you're going to be mad. and that's okay. Once you feel it, then you can let it go, and then you are fresh. You are fresh to experience new life. Beautiful. Yeah, and I feel the red obviously has to do with could do with ancestors, linears, family, relationships, well, that which makes you safe, that which makes you secure, home, all the primary things we need to survive. It could be along the lines of that. Let me just get my thing. All right. Anybody else share out that want a message? Oops, I'm trying to find my. Oh, I have my stand. All right. All right. Let's see. All right. I've not eaten pizza in 2 months. Well, Lauren, you haven't eaten pizza in 2 months, but I've been eating plenty of cake. Balance. Yes, Dina. Hey, Tamara. Good to see you. But I'm allowing it. It's the process, and I'm more than happy to go through. I'm feeling that so totally, Teresa, that you are willing and open and surrender to whatever you need to experience. I totally, totally feel that. So even sometimes when I give you guys reads, I'm like, I'm just trusting spirit and I'm sharing what's coming through, even though something in me too always says, they already know this. They're already doing that. So maybe it's just to bring further clarification for you, Teresa. All right. Because I feel the same way. I'm happy to go through. I'm not always physically happy to go through. I'm happy from the spiritual point of view. Like I know all is serving me, but you know what? Sometimes my physical isn't so happy to go through it. Okay. And maybe that's all it is. All right. Light language. Awesome. Is a game changer. Life raft. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yep. I agree. Certain point. Sometimes I'm like into the light language and I feel that that's what's being called for. So again, if there's someone out there that doesn't resonate with light language, all is made of light. Okay. Our expression is light. Like one time I did a mini little message on light language, like speaking in tongues, speaking in light language. And some people were really trying to have that ability, even though but light language too, because we are all light beings and the language is spoken through our body. Even though light language is the third language, the language of love, it cuts all barriers and it's a frequency of love and a way to communicate. And there not necessarily isn't a verbal translation, but light language is our physical body in whatever way or expression. So someone dancing, if that's how they connect to their spirit and express it, that's their light language. It's not defined just to verbiage. I don't know if that's a word. It could be just the way they talk, the way they move, the way they communicate, even if it isn't in tongue or galactic or however, whatever light language you connect to. That's beautiful if it's for you, but don't feel bad if you don't have that as your conduit, or because you already are all of that, guys. Don't forget, you guys contain the light language within you. You contain the light. Everything that you are, you already have, but through your soul's journey in the here and now, you might choose to express it differently. And a lot of people speak light language. I love speaking in tongues, speaking light language. It's a different feel. I feel like I'm connecting to other frequencies, and I am, but you're also connecting to other frequencies through your dance, through your art, through whatever. You guys are light beings, and the language that you choose to express your light being and physical expression in itself is another type of light language. All right. Yes, it's our soul language. Yes, thank you, Teresa. Or that was Sandra saying that. I actually thought that was Teresa. Sandra, thank you for saying that, because that is straight from your soul, the vibration and frequency from your soul. All right. Sand signing art at Gina Palazzo, just writing. Everyone is the light in your highly receptive everyone. Transmission. Thank you. Yes, thank you, Gina. So, well, Gina's art, there you go. Your art is light language unto itself, a type, because soul expression comes in all ways. Not, yeah, thank you, Gina. Yeah, you just went full circle again. It doesn't, soul expression, like, so if there's a mute and someone doesn't speak, like say they don't speak, they're still expressing just as effectively through whatever avenue that their soul expression is. Very beautiful. It's all beautiful. All right. And if anyone ever wants to come on and share anything, feel free. Anybody else want a read? I love listening to light language. Yes, it's beautiful. Yes, I am taking donations. I think I stuck it at the top. So if you want a more thorough read, and my thorough reads usually contain like 3 messages, 3 different card oracles and intuitive messages. I'll stick it up there again. It probably got lost for anybody who might want a more thorough read. And let me know if you shared out and want a quickie. To get a quickie, I just ask that you share out, gives others the opportunity to tune in. It's almost like when you share out, you can think of it this way, you're opening a door for someone. Whether they choose to walk through or not is up to them. And that's all we can really do, guys, is just give people through our action or through who we are, opportunities to walk through or not walk through certain energies that they can choose from. And it's open donation. All right, let me get to the bottom here. Thank you guys for being here, and thank you for your comments, because you truly, truly illuminate and add a ray, you add a fractal, you add dimension to this message just through your awareness. Even if you're presently watching now or later, because there is no time, just your presence is bringing forth your soul expression, individual stamp, energy, and frequency to this platform. So there is no time. So say someone, this is a really interesting concept. Say someone is watching later on and they say, oh, I really wish I was at the live and could have imparted this information or commented or added or asked a question. Guess what? You did. You did. Is that not beautiful? It just amazes me. Or if I'm watching, and I got to look at it from my own point of view. Spirit just shared that and said to mention that. But even me, if I'm watching, say, Thaddeus, John, that was on earlier, popped in, watching one of his lives, and I feel like I'm present and wish I was present during the live, but I wasn't, but I really was, because a piece of me was there, because there is no time. And that's actually another way how time travel is represented on our physical plane, through a picture, through an encyclopedia, through a live that we connect to, or a pre-recording. We're literally time traveling. If you look at old pictures of the 20s and you're really absorbed in it, it's like as if you are partially time traveling, partially like actually in there. Okay. Oh, thank you, Teresa. You're so sweet. Thank you. All right. So, thank you so much, Tamara. I just saw your comment. Any particular question, Tamara? Or subject matter? Today's subject matter, if you weren't on the live earlier, it was how to apply allowance into our every moment of now. How is it applicable to this moment? Not just an idea, not just a theme. And so what Spirit was bringing forth is messages and cards, oracles, where what are we not allowing? What do we need to allow more? Actually, I like to phrase it that way. What we need to allow more that we might not be aware of or might be questioning. And again, the confusion comes from, is actually a consequence of, and I've never heard of it spoken this way until this live, guys, that the confusion is evidence of resistance in some way, shape, or form. Resisting what we're being called to now. So it's a way that we're filtering through old beliefs. And it's not a bad, say, quote unquote bad. It's not stopping us. It's giving us an opportunity actually to release and filter through beliefs that we might be holding on to, preventing us from allowing what we're being called to allow for in the moment. It could be mundane or it could be huge, whatever. So whenever you're confused, they're saying, sit, breathe in, what, and that's good. We're talking about naked being earlier. Naked is a good way to imagine it. What if I could do whatever I wanted with no consequence? That's going to tell you something. It can tell you where you're denying and need to balance. Like for me, like I always say, oh, it'd be really cool to eat anything I could eat and not have any consequences. And yeah, we got to honor the physical physics of how our physical body works. But it shows that I have balancing in that area, because I really would like to I wouldn't eat just junk because it doesn't make me feel good. But yeah, areas where I need balance. Or what would you have if you knew it was possible and didn't need to talk yourself out of? But confusion is beautiful because, and maybe you're feeling confused or having a lot of options available to you, or concepts even, or things and choices you got to make in life, Tamara. And the confusion is giving you an opportunity to filter through that which no longer serves you. But let's get down to Tamara. All right, let me see if she commented. Whatever. Okay. Now that's allowance. That's allowance. And sometimes, I'm not saying this is the case for you, Tamara, but sometimes we really do want to ask a personal question, and we might not want to or expose ourselves to it. And you don't need to do it verbally either, but know that spirit, it's this and that. It's good to ask a certain question. Don't think that you're denying and zoning in on a certain subject matter, because spirit honors the physical experience. And if the physical experience is having an issue with something, to really confront it or to zoom in on that subject matter. So of course, anything goes with spirit, but also know that they will also address personal things and respecting your personal space as well, privacy, whatever thoughts, and they will answer also things dear to your heart without you having to put it way out there. All right. So just honoring the physical again. Okay, Tamara. All right. We got a lot in common, Teresa. Tamara. All right. So they show me your energy is looking like this. See this? Like a funnel. The light, you're the inner part, and it's all emanating out, but it's coming out like a funnel. It's not filtering in, it's filtering out. So sometimes we think of a funnel pouring in the water and then this way. But what they show me, your energy is like a reverse funnel. And it was all this beautiful light, this color light, in a funnel coming out. So that's showing me that what you are going through energetically, like I was just saying, filtering through some energies, beliefs, deeper subconscious stuff in here, because the filter comes to the heart. It's like it begins. Oh my God, this is so beautiful, Tamara. And I've never been shown it like this before. So this is the line, this is the funnel, this is the light coming out really bright out of you. And the funnel begins in the heart. And that is telling me that this is a little narrower here. So you are having to filter, process, release, understand, feel, allow certain energies as you are bringing forth this huge light and frequency. So knowing that is part of the process. Sometimes, you want the flow to go quicker. You want to be all there and all that. You want to be at this end right away. But you've got to process and open up to some energies in here. Lighten them, feel them, heal them. You're already healed, damn it. You already are here, but as a human, you came to have the physical experience of that realization. So you could be, you're opening up to you're breaking free and opening up belief systems that were a little bit smaller. Just like the funnel, the hole is at the bottom and it gets more condensed. You are releasing condensed beliefs, thoughts, ideas. And because today's theme was on the physical, I believe a lot of it has to do with your physical being. And I know you are a beautiful master light blaster, huge leading edge thought, light. And I could just feel my heart opening up all of a sudden. You're just beautiful. But you chose, your soul's experience chose to actually, because you are such big light, you are this huge energy, you are pure, you're an angel. You chose to transmute and to break open the denser beliefs, the denser energies preventing the light from freeing, flowing freely. So Tamra, as the human being, has chosen certain circumstances and situations that trigger and catalyze seeking, questioning in order to open them up to the light. And we can think of it this way again, light born of darkness. So some darker areas, things you didn't understand, questions on mainly, I'm going to say it's mainly this physical timeline, but it can be obviously this physical body holds memories and energies from other timelines. But regardless, you have come as a soul to enlighten, to bring light, to draw the light out of the denser dark energies, to bring truth, to bring them truth. And how do you bring truth to something? You got to experience it. Like everything that I talk, I experience, and my messages are delivered from a personal questioning seeking. I am, what does it be? What do they say to be the not testimony for God, a living testimony. You're a living testimony, a living conduit, the vehicle for God expression, and not God separate from you. But again, that funnel went to your heart, that God in here. And this brings so much solace to me or anyone. And thank you for being that space holder for this message, Tamara, because so many of us need that we chose to enter the dark. We chose to experience separation. We chose it. It's beautiful. It's a gift. The human doesn't like it. So cry, scream, have a conniption. That's okay. But there's a deeper part of you that knows you came for the experience. And the confusion and filtering through shit and experiencing and good and bad or getting knocked down and getting back up. It's all part of it. It's all beautiful. And you chose it. And you're an angel of light, coming to create freedom, freeing the darkness, even though I don't know how to explain that. The darkness doesn't need to be free because the darkness is actually serving us, but for our own experiencing, extracting the light from it, picking and choosing certain things like your hand, again, going into a prize bag or a dart bag or a void. And our soul's experience chose to pick some of those darker concepts in order to transmute them to light. This is the darkness. This is you, Tamra. You chose to come in the physical, and it could be, I'm just throwing this out. I'm not saying this is you, but maybe you chose to enlighten something through child abuse. Maybe you chose through a narcissist. Maybe you chose to come in and experience this darkness, this density, in order to allow it to connect to you already are light. And I know this is hard to take sometimes. So why someone all full of light need to experience it? Our soul chose to have the physical experience of it, the journey and the expression. Just think of someone who preaches something that hasn't lived it. It's not going to have the same oomph of someone who went through it. That's what makes a healer a healer. They've experienced something, and now they have tools, modalities, light to shine on the subject matter. And many people can experience the same situation and have something different that they gain to share. They're all a spark of light for that dark energy that they came to filter through, navigate through, and fuse with their own light based on other timelines. So you hold light from all eternity, Tamra, of experience that you didn't necessarily have here, but they're supporting you. They're held within you, that you are able to use subconsciously. That light is there to help you, whatever that other darkness is you've come to loosen up. You win a grab bag. You went in a grab bag. You chose an experience. You use that darkness not to change the darkness, but to allow it to serve you to bring forth more light. Okay? Oh my goodness. I could just go on and on about that. So beautiful. Such a warrior of light is what I want to say. And so I'm just using child abuse again for an example. So many of us might have even experience it in some way, shape, or form. And what we do is we can really get mad, angry, and fight that on the outside, but that's not where the change is. It's us taking that dark spot, going within and allowing it to activate some light within us, which actually expands a greater understanding and awareness that has never been done unless we went through that. So light, love, life, it's eternal, right? There's no ending. So it makes sense as the human, even though we're light, we're giving a different take and information through our experience, aiding the whole God awareness of it, the expansion of it. So no one will ever and has ever experienced you in this physical made up of all the multi-yous in this here and now, and your light is shedding light, allowing the darkness to activate a light within you that never would have had it without you actually going through it. That's how powerful, and that's God, I just want to bow down at you now. All of you, I just want to bow down as a human. What we came because we love, we're pure love, and we want to expand love and that understanding and awareness through the physical. Wow. All right. Forgiveness. All right. And part of that, whatever that is, sometimes we'll want to initially blame. So Teresa brings up the subject matter of forgiveness. Doesn't have to be child abuse, could be whatever it is that we felt like we were a victim, wherever our victimhood lies. It brings, initially, you might want to point and blame, and then we come to a deeper level of understanding, and then we got to learn to forgive ourselves, because some way, shape, or form, we might have thought, oh, maybe we weren't good enough, I'm not deserving. And there's all these different layers of forgiveness as well. And as we forgive, forgiveness leads to freedom. But what the root to is, what we come to the core is, oh my God, when we come to the real root, it's acceptance and allowing, oh my God, this, everything exactly the way it should be. I was exactly as I should be. That person was exactly as they should be. In order to gain this wisdom and light and knowledge, it had to be like that in order to extract that one little piece of information, to bring light, to shed light in it. And a lot of people won't see it that way. Let's see. Did that not? I don't know why I did that. Where is it? I'm looking for my. Hold on here. It's a specific one I wanted. What I do with it? Oh, here it is. All right. So the question in general is, what do you need to allow more of? Because in allowing, we actually are able to embody and express through our physical reality the light that we are, which creates the abundance, fulfillment, peace, harmony, love, joy that we want. So it's all, if we don't allow it, if we can't allow and trust what's going on within us, our physical self, our wants, our needs, if we don't allow it, how are we going to allow the universe to give us what it is we want, or what it is we need to be happy, even though it always is? But I rather learn the easy way than the hard way. We're always giving what we want, but sometimes we take the harder route. Like I did a message the other day. I was on the trail run, and one was easy path, hard path. We always have that choice. And when we allow and release resistance, we take the easier path. When we don't, we just kind of meet up on other little things that help to teach us and open us up and crack us open and finally help us to surrender. All right. I did the Mother Earth Heart card. This is just no doubt. What we have is this piece of sand, and it's just so funny. And all of these, I didn't manipulate them. They just were like what I saw when I was running. We got a heart-shaped sand. It's in the winter, and it's all surrounded by snow. And it's just kind of funny how that little spot is just all wrapped up in snow. And that pretty much is the physical representation of all that I just said. Your heart came to experience, and it looks a little mucky and sandy, all of these different little experiences in order to illuminate it into the truth that it is. You are supported. This hand, the way this is the heart. We can see it. And the heart, it's got a little bit of mumbo jumbo over here. And that's just saying us that life will throw us curveballs that we're not ready for. It's not all perfectly formed. It even looks a little mountainous in here, a little like it'd be a mountain right here or a valley within this heart. And that's just showing us that you have chosen, Tamara, a rough terrain to traverse, but you're being supported. And this little bit of snow here almost looks like a hand enveloping it. Almost looks like a little, everything's backwards on StreamYard, a thumb and some fingers and an arm coming around hugging you. So you're supported, your soul chose it. And inside the heart, I can also see a figure. It's so hard for me on the StreamYard. There's a person here. See the head? See the hand reaching out? The back is over here. Let me look. The back is over here. There's a hand here, a head reaching out for something. There's a person within your heart. I don't know if it's you or someone else reaching out. I don't know if this almost looks like baby Jesus, like, in the manger, and he's usually shown on a little thing of hay and he's illuminating light. So it could be you reaching for this Christ consciousness or yearning to bring this Christ consciousness to earth, what your soul came for, because it's imprinted right in the heart. I don't know if from a physical standpoint, if you ever lost a baby or yearned for a baby or a child, but there's something to do with deep within your heart. You are definitely totally aligned to your soul's purpose. You're aware of it, or it would not be presenting here in the support of the divinity around you. But it's got many, many different layers to this imagery, that you're supported and you are hugged from the outside forces. Oh God, now I see it. Now it's morphing. Holy shit, this is so beautiful. I just wish you could see what I see, and maybe you do. So this lady here, there's a lady. Oh my God, they're holding hands. There's like this person here. Okay, think of it this way. They're both facing each other. And now this just morphed into a beautiful woman. She's got a white face. She's got hair. And they're reaching towards each other. Or actually, it's almost like she's holding the baby. And this beautiful mother, almost the symbology of it is Mother Mary. And she's holding the baby. And the man, I don't know if it's human or the masculine, but this woman is bright. Can you see her face, Tamara? And her hair is right here, and it's kind of puffy, and it goes down her back, and they're facing each other. Right here is either a baby or they're joining hands. Oh my God, this woman is so beautiful. Boy, I hope you're getting something of whether it's a spirit or related to you. Her hair goes down to here. It's wavy. Her hair goes all the way to here. Beautiful white face. It's her profile. She's even got one strand of hair hanging, and she's reaching out to this other man in her heart. So it even could be a soul contract with another person, relationship. It's relationship. And there's many layers. So obviously it's going to be a relationship with you with your Christ consciousness, you with your higher self, but it's extending into children and a male. Son of a bee, that's beautiful. I have never seen that before. And it's so beautiful how spirit and my eyes will be drawn to see an image. Anyways, let's go to the message. Boy, this is going to be a long message. All right. Thank you for being so. I see a child, highest self coming through. Yes. Yeah. And there's so many different layers that imagery could take. And now I see the person that was a man, now it's turned into, there's this face looking up profile. Oh, shit. How do I do it? This side, looking up. So you get these dark eyes, and there's a little bone structure. Her nose is here, and she's looking up into the light and almost laying back. They're almost merging now, merging into one. Almost like the physical and the higher self merging together to create this greater love. Because now that person, whoever it was, is looking up like this, almost being cradled, almost like she's got a veil around her or a cloak, but this is her little face right here. If I can circle it, the face here, and then I saw a face here, and now it's morphed into something else to me. Almost like a surrendering of you to your higher self and surrendering to your purpose and allowing that special. And we're all special, but you got a very special role specifically relating to I believe the Christ child, reclaiming the Christ child within you. Christ meaning unconditional love, bringing that frequency. And there is a strong galactic energy here as well, because the entire heart, I also see like what you would typically see as an alien: two eyes, nose, a mouth open, smiling, um, almost like ears here, almost similar to Lauren's image earlier. All right. I do have Jesus and Mother. Okay. Yeah. So that's affirmation for you. And me too. Yeah. A lot of us soul sisters, I know Gina, I know myself, I know a lot of you guys out there do have very special connection with the archetype, the Mother Mary, Jesus the baby, and that Holy Trinity. Okay, no doubt. When you react in resistance, holy crap, and this goes back to the whole collective message. When you react in resistance or take a position of judgment, it is a reflection of your own doubt and lack of trust in life. Know that all of life is unfolding with divine purpose. So sometimes we even get into like resisting what is now by trying to delve deeper. Oh my God, there's so much, so many layers. So you don't need to try, but this is just coming out gently. There's nothing for you to do, because sometimes I will have a reading and I'm like, oh, geez, and crow, I thought I confronted that. Geez, and crow, I got that much more work to do, and blah, 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 blah. And then I get overwhelmed. But that's because I'm just taking on more than I'm supposed to. You're supposed to just be in the now. Everything is as it should be. And don't doubt yourself. Just allow yourself. Everything is as it should be. Sometimes we try to delve and try to change things from a good intent, like try to be the best you can be, try to be pure, try to be that good girl, try to be forgiven, try to be honest. And I think deep down it's just saying, Tamra, you are all of this, and what this card holds, you are the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit all in one. But allow yourself to live the limited physical expression and experience, because you're aware, you're awoken, and you're aware of the totality of all. And they want you to take that unconditional love and apply it and allow it. As Tamra, the human being, even though you're so much more than that, they want you to honor your everyday experience, your ups, your downs, your lows, the things that the mass collective get caught up in. But because you're able to traverse or go and process it easier, because you do have this higher faith and knowledge and wisdom and belief, you know who you are. All right. Purpose. Protected. And yeah, we showed the hugs here with the higher support. Protected. You are safe and supported while you change your career. So I don't know if you're looking to literally change a career or if it's just change a lifestyle. But I know you already know this. You are always protected. And I know that you are exactly where you need to be. But sometimes the human just wants that comfort and that recognition from an outer reflection, like me saying, hey, your spirit is proud of you. You're proud of yourself and you're protected. And, you can just lay back and trust. Just allow the energies to flow. So for life purpose, you're just being called to know you are protected. And maybe you also stand as a protection for others, that reassurance for others, that outer physical reflection that all of us need as human beings, that connectedness, that support, that we feel sometimes so alone, that they're telling you you're not alone, Tamra, but you also might provide that support for others. And the angel archetype, traveler, move through new dimensions. So this is the energy, the archetype energy from another timeline that is supporting you. You might have been a traveler in the past. You might have wandered. You might have gone many places. You might have had a lot of courage and strength and inquisitive and curious about other areas in your world and in your life. And the physical representation can be actual movement in the physical plane on the world, on earth, but also you're a traveler of dimensions. You're multidimensional. You're open to receiving multidimensional travel and exploration. Maybe you astral travel. In your dreams, we're always traveling in your nightlife. So that is really prominent. And that's just calling you to be a really good traveler. You got to travel light. You don't want to carry a bunch of stuff with you. Looks like she has just one little bag. So travel light, leave your worries behind, leave the attachments behind, and just be you and go with the flow. Like the whole river analogy, allow yourself to flow. Take your little bag that you need and know that you're protected and cloaked in universal love. The universe is backing you up. And not only is the universe backing you up, you are orchestrating the universe to fulfill your desires through your allowance. Just allowing and trusting in the now is what orchestrates the universe, because the universe is within you. You're one. So traveling light, movement of energy spiritually, and I believe movement on the physical plane for you is really supporting you. All right. And I do want to do just one galactic, because I was really excited to share my galactic heritage cards. What galactic energy are you most connected with or resonating with at the moment? Oh, this just popped out and fell. Oh, two of them popped out and fell out. Pleiades. So I don't know if you feel a connection to Pleiades. That is present parallel reality Pleiades, because this is a present card. It is affecting you now. That energy is very much one with you now, guiding you now, devotion to service. So when I said that you might be a protector for others, that might be part of your service. As you serve yourself and come into your own trust and faith, you're also holding that energy for others. You feel a call to service others, to share the light, but it isn't hard for you because it's your natural way. Like, I love doing messages, I love doing lives. It's part of my expression. I feel stunted if I don't. It allows the energy to move. So part of your energy movement is serving others. Like this card, the Traveler, goes along with your Pleiades card in the moment. You're called upon that Pleiades energy through service to others and movement and sharing in the light, devotion to service. It's a 64, which is new beginnings. That goes too with career change, movement, these new frequencies calling you to travel light, letting go of constriction, restriction, old baggage, memories. And how do we let go of old baggage and memories? Again, crying through it, releasing it, acknowledging it, accepting it as part of our journey, giving it honor to the emotion and to the feelings of maybe disappointment of the past. And as you can allow yourself to cleanse yourself of that, you do travel lighter, and travel more renewed and greater confidence also. So service to others, new beginnings, having that path. And then we got 65, refining galactic lineage, Pleiades. Wow. So both of yours are Pleiades. Both of yours are new beginnings, but the 11, 6 plus 5 being 11, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, entering that mastery of service, of devotion, of that unconditional love and support and light and non-judgment. So that is your present, refining it. And like I said earlier, filtering through the middle ring at the beginning of your reading was a little mumbly jumbly, filtering through that which is serving you and not, so you may travel lighter. You may carry less dense energy with you. You're just going to kind of beam around through your reality. And I love the way all of these totally interconnect. So real quickly, let me just see 65 real quick, and then I'll end it on that. Pleiades. This is a new deck for me. So Pleiades have been involved with genetic refinement. So you redefining, recoding yourself. And how do you recode? By activating that which is within you, which purifies and singes and transforms the dark energies that you might have been holding on to. Earth and other planets in thousands of years see it as a way to be of service for cosmic point of view. If you chose this card, you have most likely had this experience in other lives. Presently, I believe, everything exists now. You're coexisting in this present as a Pleiadian as well. And you are receiving and you are merged because it's present energy. It's not something from your past or something you're creating or moving towards or shifting to. Not linear, but shifting to. It's all present in your now. Always remember that learning about this subject is only meaningful if you see the bigger picture. Genetic projects represent the greater truth that we are one. We are one consciousness expressing itself through many bodies. There is no separation between. Okay, so it's also, the commentary is allowing the entire holographic reality through your individual evolution. Okay, and knowing it affects the others. And let me just see what 64 was. Yeah, just very devoted to service, but that is your joy of being of service. And they said Jesus had Pleiadian energy as well, so that makes sense. Okay, so the devotion to service is seen as a fundamental gateway to spiritual growth, but the meaning of it is often misunderstood. People often assume that devotion means sacrifice. Exactly the point I was trying to make. It isn't a hardship. It's actually liberating when if you're alignment to service and that's what you're doing and embodying and aligned to, then it's freeing. So what it says is, but in reality, oh, so sometimes people assume that devotion means sacrifice or somehow you have to devote your life to a cause, because that's kind of what those devotion or service kind of conjures up to me. Oh, I have to do this, or I have to be like Mother Teresa, or have to go to a soup kitchen, or have to give away my funds, or have to give my time and energy. That's not really what it is if you're truly serving. It's actually life giving to yourself. It's infusing you. It's not heavy, it's light. But in reality, the concept of service is quite flexible. Sometimes it doesn't necessarily refer to what you do as much as it refers to how you do it. It does not mean you should change jobs to feed the, oh my God. So it goes and says, change jobs to feed the hungry, for example. Sometimes being of service can be something as simple as putting good, loving energy into the food you make for a customer, or the way you answer a phone in the office, or the way I speak to my husband. Ultimately, when Earth society views others as extensions of self and sees in reality everyone is really one way anyway, this energy of love and service infuses all aspects of life. So, yeah, and then it talks about knowing the individual connects to the whole. So basically, when you are devoted to service, it is not separate from the service to what makes Tamra happy. You know what I mean? What makes Tamra feel good? Oh, and being service to yourself, as she says. Absolutely. So, do you have any other questions or want a clarification or want a card or that I did not pull? And thank you so much for your donation, Tamra. Was there something more you needed or would like clarified? Because I'm feeling that obviously you know everything that I said, or you wouldn't have projected it anyways, because you resonate with it. I'm reflecting the energy. I am you speaking, you are speaking through me, your spirit speaking through me. So maybe through my own individuality, maybe, I don't know if I hit or expressed or defined something or tweaked it in a way that gave you a little blue rays. Yes. Yes. Teresa, you summed it up and it just makes me really emotional just to read it. And things that make you emotional, like really open your heart because it's really the truth bleeding through us. And she says, yes, we are Palladian, blue rays, and light language activators in total service to others by the grace of God. So yeah, absolutely. Because that is fun for me. But it has to fit your individual imprint. You can't be of service and go clean the homeless shelter if that's not what you're called to do. And sometimes I would feel bad or think, oh, I really, whenever you start a sentence like a little heavier and thinking I really should be, no, you shouldn't. That's your answer right there to get you back on course. If it feels heavy, constrictive, or like I have to, or like you're judging yourself for something, it automatically is not so. And that's allowing you to know if the energy is not light, then move towards the light. Oh, thank you, Gina. You're so sweet. No, did you do a card for me? No, Robin. This is the first time that I see you on here. Please share out for a quickie, a freebie. Let me know if you did. And I will anyways, because, again, I don't abide by every rule. I figure if I'm called to someone, and even if someone's not there and they left the line, but I think they are, I won't wait for a response. I'll just deliver the message because they were there to hold space for someone through their energy. So yes, it's my calling. Yeah, I'm feeling that, Tamra. And I do feel that you are hard on yourself or have been, because now I'm feeling really emotional. As soon as I look at your name and say, yes, it's my calling, I resonate and I feel into all of that energy. And I just see all of this beauty and how you have been hard on yourself. And light workers are, because we know of the light and then we're stuck in the limiting physical experience. And sometimes we want to discard it or say, oh, geez, I'm Pearl. You want to shake it off and say, you know, and you feel and you're one with the light, but yet you feel contained at the same time. So that's the beautiful part of it. Yes, Tasha. All right. Okay. Makes me teary-eyed just because it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Thank you, Tamara. I appreciate that. And that was like healing and light activating for anybody who received this information. So thank you. All right. So I got a couple more people here. I've got Tasha and Louise. And now my eyes are watery and I can't read because it's blurry. All right. Yeah, she is amazing. Yeah, me too, Gina. I love it. That's why I am so honored for anyone that shows, because wherever we place our awareness, guys, because the authentic and the true part of us, whether we feel we're acting in it or not, is pure love and light. And when we put our gaze on something, it's like a flashlight beaming into the room, a flashlight beaming into the darkness. Even when you're feeling shitty about yourself, and think that you're not all in a good mood, because I know I'll judge myself if I'm not in a good mood and say, oh, geez, I really shouldn't be feeling that way. Oh my God, I have so much self-judgment. It's about, again, that physical collective message about allowing that. It's part of the physical experience. So honoring it and say, hey, that's really cool. You're a freaking God source energy and you're feeling like crap. That's pretty weird. What an experience that is. Oh, and that kind of goes with your funnel too. The light is just, you said there's always light at the end of the tunnel. So it's showing me that the light is just getting brighter and brighter, but it's not coming from outside of you, Tamara. It's coming from in your heart, from your God center, from your. I don't know why it allows calls to come through, even though I silenced them. All right. Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. My heart's overflowing with love too. And it wouldn't be if I didn't decide to release any resistance to do alive and just come forward. And it does. It floods you with love. When you release any resistance by self-acceptance and allowing the mind to take a back seat, it just opens you up to greater love. The mind in the human body wants your to-do list, wants you to fulfill some obligations, wants you to go through your routine of the day. And sometimes you just got to allow new information to come forth, because that's how we change our reality. All right. Tasha, you're next. I feel tearful. This too been so, yeah, you guys, oh my God, you're all sisters, and maybe hopefully some brothers will tune in as well. But yeah, you guys, you know how, and not to make anyone better than another, but you know how they always say the 144,000 and or whatever come or whatever to shift or create a new world, but that's a frequency. And I know all of you guys are that master frequency, because remember too, also, I forgot to mention the 11 representing the mastery and Tamara and going through a portal, which is just shifting to a new reality. And I believe that 144 isn't a number of people per se. It's the frequency that is the key to shifting you to that reality, to that heaven on earth. Oh my God, yes, they are, Tamara. As soon as I read your message, my whole self opens up. Shoom, shoom. All right, who am I on again? Tasha, life purpose. Let's see here what you need to allow more of in your life. And again, the focus today was mainly physical, our physical expression, but we'll see. Because a lot of times as great beings of light, we want to not put as much importance on the physical experience, but we got to remember the physical is the temple of our spirit, our spiritual energy embodied for the experience and for the expansion of spirit. Life is eternal. It's always expanding. Life grows. Wisdom and knowledge and truth evolve. There's always one core truth, which is love and light, but it evolves to all of these other expressions and artwork. I'm sure Gina would relate to the artwork. It never ends. It's expansive. She says she has her spirits going through us and all weekend. She just keeps expressing. One painting ain't the ultimate truth. It expresses into all the paintings representing all the realities, all the scenes that are physical life on earth and all multidimensional life. That is something Spirit is showing me right now, Gina. Every picture holds they're all hold the core vibration of love, but they're expressed. And one picture can't possibly define all of God and what it is or who we are. It takes many frames, just like our life, many frames, many worlds to express that. Okay, Tasha, life purpose. What does she need to allow more of? What does she deny? Oh my gosh, she got protected as well. So your quickie, Tasha, is it's just affirming you are protected. You're protected in your physical vessel. Allow. The physical body is limited. So if you abuse it, it can get hurt. But if you're trusting your inner guidance of your heart, it'll be an easier journey. You can take the hard journey or you can take the easy journey. And if you allow yourself to trust and open up to that wisdom, that what feels good, they're saying, you are protected in following what feels good, not heavy, what feels good. I'm feeling that you also, through your allowing more of your physical needs and honoring your physical temple, spending money on yourself more, even because that's sometimes I don't do that. I don't spend money on myself usually. I mean, I love my environment. I'll spend money on my environment, but to spend money on my physical body, I don't do that a lot. And maybe you're being called to spend more on you. Get a massage, get that tattoo, get that new outfit, get your hair done, have your teeth whitened, whatever it is, to honor that and know that you'll be protected with all your resources as you honor yourself. It says when you are safe and supported while you change your career. So maybe you're resisting a change of career. Literally, this card can be symbolic or it can be literal. Only you know. But it's just saying, yes, you are protected in this change of energy, whether it is literally a job change or just a change of outer expression, or as you it's definitely a change. There's definitely embodying more of you in this, and that you are protected. All right. Next. Good. Quickie. Who wants a quickie? Gina. Yes, yes, yes. I don't know if you're saying yes to a quickie or if you're just agreeing with something. So here we go. Gina. Gina, I don't know, man. I can't imagine you resisting anything, but you know, we're humans, so let's just see what needs to be brought. Gina. All right. What do we got? Support. Your life purpose fully supports you. So it's just reminding you that this ain't, it's like you got this angel wings, unconditional love, universal light, leaning on a staff. So that shows that you lean on spirit. I know that. But knowing that to honor your physical body too, when you are tired and if you don't feel like doing something, that you're supported in that. You're not going to diminish spirit's work by taking time for yourself, even though I know you get excited and you're called to do all of your artwork and paintings and all that you give to your family and to your spiritual work. I know everything, the core is spiritual for you, but it's just saying you support. You support. There's a huge message also, and I know you already know this, but the lineage, you know how we've got the staff here and the DNA, you know the work you are doing, you know that you're activating, you know that you're changing the bloodlines, you know that you're activating and releasing through your own work for the whole. But to know you can take a break, to know that even though you're all of this, you're still a body, and not to don't resist taking a break. Basically, don't resist doing for Gina, taking a day off from work, calling in sick, going to the movies, honoring that physical body, because I know that you are a very devoted servant and that brings you joy, but we're still physical. So I'm just feeling that. All right. Who's next? Oh, thank you, Tamra. Sue Davio, Patty. All right, Sue. What does Sue need to hear? Spirit is in my face, for I'm surrendering of it all. Oh, my life force. I thought you said spirit is in my face. Yes. I know, Gina. I know. Take it as it resonates. My interpretation might be off as it resonates, but it was for you to see. But it is your support for all. Hence you leaning on that staff. It is your support. But because the main intent was to bring something into our awareness that we might be resisting, I doubt you're resisting that, but maybe you need to take it out more, take it out into the light more, all of that work. Gina, you know what would be really cool is if you actually, like, I'm sure you got a million of those yourself, and I know you share it on Facebook, all your paintings and stuff, but what if you actually just went live and express what they represent? Because that can give somebody some insight, and then they might see their own artwork or their own house or their own environment differently. Maybe you're resisting being supported and going out and do that, and I could be wrong. That's just my own Ria thoughts, that I know when I see somebody else speak it and see it coming through their physical vessel, I could connect or see a truth that I already knew, but I see it just tweaked a little where it gives me some insight. Because I know that you do share, and everyone is receiving the energy and the beauty through the painting, but there's still Gina, the physical body, and that's beautiful, and that is here as well. I don't know. I could be wrong, but food for thought. All right. So we had Sue, talk to your angels instead of worrying and ask for divine guidance. So you might be surrendering, you might be resisting asking for help, not just from your angels, which we all should be doing, our guidance, ourself, they're our higher self, our angels, our guardians, our spirits, our loved ones. Sometimes we get so entrapped in the physical that we think we need to do it. We think we need to perform. We think we need to figure it out. And we do have all of the help from the multiverses, from eternity. So asking for that guidance, and worrying just condenses more worry. It densifies it. So it can serve us. Worrying can serve us by showing us that we are believing in something that isn't true, because we wouldn't be worried unless we were worried about a bad outcome or having a negative expectation. So worry just kind of dilutes our energy and our flow. And I know it's easier said than done. Accept our worry. Do what John Thaddeus would teach us about the tapping to open up the meridian. Say, hey, I know I'm worried. I know that's not the truth of it, though. So you can acknowledge your worry, accept it, see it as part of the human experience, but still stick in that higher perspective at the same time, simultaneously saying, but I know it's working out. And you know what? I call upon the legion of angels, ancestors, spirits, galactics, whatever you connect to, and say, hey, I really need some help here, and allow that. So you could be resisting asking for that help, or just physical help from a partner, a relative, a friend, a coworker. Say, hey, my plate is loaded. Can you please, and delegate other people, ask for help. All right. That was Sue. Louise, I haven't done you yet, right? Louise, what does Louise need to know? Shoo. What may she be resisting? So the whole message today, guys, and this went flying out. The whole message today is allowing, and how do we utilize it in our everyday moment, not just as a concept. Yeah, I'm allowing all of life to serve me, but to kind of get a little nitpicky and show us and pinpoint one little tiny stone of obstruction that could be stuck in our screen, preventing the airflow, preventing the water to flow down the river to all parts of our life. So this is just getting a little nitpicky, showing us what maybe we not conscious of that we're resisting, but we really need to allow. And it's from the physical perspective. Counseling. You heal with kind words, wise advice, Louise, and an empathetic ear. So this could be just communicating. Counseling is communicating, sharing, exchanging information. So maybe you're being called to counsel others, but you might feel you're not up to it or not good enough or worthy. Anybody who steps out in any sort of public way will always question, or usually question, or apt to question. if they have anything to share or any advice to give or any light to infuse. So it's saying, yes, you do. And don't resist that. You are a wise counselor. You hold a lot of information that wants to come forth. And in our counseling or in our sharing, we're also counseling ourselves. Like as I give these live readings to you guys, I am also counseling and healing my own energy, because we're not going to connect, reflect, or have something in our reality that is not aiding us towards a greater expansion, healing, alignment to what our soul came for, which is to create a world of light, abundance, life. And we all have our specific little niches where we are working that light, or that is activating that light within us. So I feel communication and healing and putting yourself out there. You might be resisting, Louise. It doesn't even need to be on a grand scale. It could be a child. It could be a partner. It could be a boss. It could be anyone. It could be someone at the checkout counter. Just giving them some words, some empathy, some love, or complimenting them. So you might be refusing that, or you could be refusing receiving your own counseling help in some way, shape, or form. Always goes both ways. As you give, you receive. As you receive, we're also giving. All right. That was yours. You're welcome, Tasha. And Louise. Claudia, yes. I like that name, Claudia. I have a cousin named Claudette. All right, Claudia. Did you want one, Claudia? All right, Claudia. This is for Claudia. It happens a lot with strangers. So good. Yeah, and sometimes maybe you don't want to. Sometimes, and then again, you gotta honor the human if it doesn't feel like it. But if you don't feel like it and you're not in the mood, that's one thing. But if you're not communicating or counseling or whatever because you think you're not good enough, or you're going to be judged, or they might not like what you have to share or say or resonate, that don't matter. Just be yourself and just be your authentic you, because you wouldn't be guided to be you unless if it wasn't needed. All right. And even if you say something, you might say something to someone who actually needs to share that information with someone else, if that makes sense. Like someone might say something, but it might not pertain to me personally, but it might be dealing with someone that I know that it pertains personally to. And it just gives insight. And there is no right or wrong or perfect answer, but it's all part of the bowl of enlightenment. It sparks more knowledge and wisdom. All right. Who was I on there? Claudia. Creative expression. Your soul longs to express itself creatively. So to me, this card is saying you might be resisting just nonchalant stuff, things that you might discount as playful or not important or not aiding your journey or important. Almost like maybe you might be resisting playing more. Like sometimes we place importance on what we're getting done, money that we're earning, accomplishment. And I feel that maybe you're resisting more playfulness, creative expression, painting, dancing, singing, writing, doing things that please your soul. Doesn't have to have a financial whatever the word is, receive financially for it, or it doesn't have to have that typical, I can't think of the word, money exchange or whatever. It's just when you nurture the soul and express who you are, even if you're just doodling or singing or jotting down notes or blogging or posting something, that is just as important as if you were going to go do open heart surgery on someone, because it's not what you do, it's the energy behind that. And then what you do is you open up all of these other pathways for abundance for you and others through the creative energy, which is your sexual energy, your personal energy that's coming through your physical being. That's for you, Claudia. Oh my goodness, Gina, you're so sweet. All right, let's see what you say here. You're truly a blessing and a mirror of my heart, but my sole intention is to be seen through my art. Then that's true. And it's up to you as the viewer, so to bloom or blossom. I do agree with that. To each oracle in now time. It is divine time in their own now. I am better inserting behind the scenes. I was told many years ago I'm an angel with a dirty face. That's so cute. That looks like a Tamara's card with the sand, almost like this. So maybe this was more applicable for you, Gina. It's kind of like an angel with a dirty face. My soul expressions open the blossom of each heart. I thank you for you, Ria, and your beautiful reading. I love you so very much. Beautiful soul, sister. That's so beautiful. So Gina puts a really good point, because sometimes we'll get a reading and the reader might want to impart their own definition of it. And it's always what resonates with you. So that she didn't necessarily resonate with as far as showing her face. So she has to be true to her and what she feels from the reading. And it could have just been to affirm that even stronger. I don't know how spirit works in everyone individually. So that's another thing. Just because someone tells you something doesn't mean it's true. It's just food for thought. It might make you realize or trail off to another thought within you, that you've gained a greater understanding of yourself that really didn't even have to do with the actual verbal message that we received. All right. Because I feel that too sometimes, like if I'm on Facebook and I get a reading and I share out, but the information hits me, but it might not hit me in the way that the reader thought. Because we're all still human and individual. Oh my goodness, Louise, you're a counselor. Oh God, that's cool. All right, anybody else? Anybody else want a reading? I can't remember if I was supposed to be doing someone else or. Yes, we're all our own masters and we're just reflections of each other. In some way, shape, or form, a frequency, but the expression could be different, obviously. Anybody else? Are we done for today? I appreciate you, Tamara. I appreciate you, Louise and Teresa and Tamara and Sue and Louise and all of you guys. Thank you so much for watching now and later. Tasha. Thank you, guys. May you all shine. And thank you again so much for sharing your light, because where we place our gaze, we're literally shining our light. We're activating, we're igniting. And through our allowance, that flow is just bigger. Our flow is wide open. Instead of having a bunch of clouds or a bunch of rocks and boulders here, when we allow the flow, release the resistance, and trust in that, we become we permeate more and more darkness. And not that we need to change the darkness is serving us, for we would not know how light and how powerful and what God's source energy we are unless we've gone through the darkest of dark. May you all shine with the entirety, not just a little speck, but the entirety of all the love and light that you are.